161,163 in FEMA money, so that gives our total of 101,696, and the FEMA is from 2024 is now completed. So as you see how I broke it out there, the FEMA and then that REIF money and stuff in there that's not in the, wasn't really budgeted and stuff in there. That's put them as two separate lines in there. So our total receipts was 103,206, but half of it was FEMA. The rest is just the people starting to pay the taxes. Taxes this month should be a lot higher. So if you look, go down to for expenses wise, you have contractual services. That was more for the engineering services right there that we have for 267th and Kim Circle. And we have the fire department we paid 40,000 the second half for their subsidy. And then the rest of it is just payroll and not very many bills besides those two bigger ones. So the ending balance is 261,678 that we have, and that should be going down. I would think we'll be paying for that 267, this month, I would guess, or this probably December.
Yeah.
December, I guess. Actually, December probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as we get it done before the end of the year, it's kind of what I wanted to get it paid by. So, yeah. Unless there's any questions, that's where we're at with this one.
We'll have one more bill coming too from that RDO.
No, that's in that.
Accessory.
That's in your front of you there. On the unpaid bills.
Yeah.
You don't have no on the side for 16,000.
No, that's it.
Okay, yeah. So that's coming this month.
Yeah.
So it'll be November. So then November won't be very much, but December will be with 267. Will be a pretty good sized check.
Yeah.
But I do. The good thing is I have the county money coming in, and there's nothing in the checking account, so I won't have to move anything around.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to accept the treasurer's report for October?
That motion to approve the treasurer's report.
A second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Old business, 267. I think we'll go right to DGR.
Yeah, so Dirk Such Please got the culvert placed towards the end of last week. It is all in the ground and they started backfilling today with the snow on Saturday. They gave us a couple days to warm up and dry out a little bit. So started backfilling today. He's hoping to have street open early next week and finish the grading around everything outside of the street by the end of next week. So end of next week should have project at final completion. Is the hope, and then start processing final paperwork from there. And should easily be able to get it done by your December board meeting.
Will you send that to the, you'll kind of approve it, will you send it to the county, that final too?
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll coordinate with Jacob to make sure he's got it.
Yeah. Okay. If they have that just done all that they give us.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Any other discussion? Okay. Now, DGR amendment to the agreement on Kim Circle.
Right, and so with that one, initially the scope of the project was kind of aimed towards getting Postma excavating on board and getting them directed on where replacement's going to go. And now that we're going out to bid, there'll be a couple more documents. Out to their facilities and a couple of other financial stuff that. And then I can put in who's good at that.
Would that cover getting permission from, I believe Assam owns all that railroad tracks. So in order to release the water that's being held there now, we'd almost have to open it up to release the water towards the tracks to drain out.
You mean we're gonna need to get a drainage easement from them? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it is. I think that's what's, in order to have it drained properly, you're gonna have to do that. Otherwise, we're gonna have a detention pond there.
Right.
So you're asking if.
If
they
that would
will-
be,
If they will negotiate the easement and
Right.
draft the easement with them
Right.
as part of this $8,000 increase. That's what you're asking. Would that include it for you to add on?
We did not have anything included for easement negotiation, but it's certainly something we can do. To be on the item. Start just negotiate easements and talking contractors. Get something like that.
Would you do that for the 8,000? Would you add on to the 8,000?
I think it would have to be an add-on. I'd have to double check on that though. I don't normally get involved with that side of things. I don't know what that scale is off the top of my head.
So I would just mention, unless it goes over that $100,000 amount, you don't have to bid it. So that's up to the supervisors. If you want this bid out with all the specs and the plans and the contract, you certainly can. But it's gonna cost $8,000 to do it. And I think the GIR said they didn't think it was gonna be over $100,000 of work next year to be done. But that also then encompasses, you know, if you're gonna have the same person do this Kim Circle project, if that work's gonna be, let's say $60,000, then that caps out that person to doing $40,000 of work on any other excavation project. So, you know, yeah, that's what you have to balance out is. whether or
without
not-
bidding.
Right, so if you don't bid it,
And
you're capped out with using that as a third party. So if you bid it, you're not capped out for this project with the other person doing stuff. So, Yeah.
You can certainly always take the stuff away with the other proposal, take it up to other contractors too, but in pricing, it's more or less a bid, but not public letting and all the formalities of the bid.
so by doing that, that would limit to $8,000 or then?
If you guys were doing that yourselves, then we wouldn't really need to.
if you're not sending out, so this $8,000 is to do the engineering work related to publicly bidding it.
Correct.
If you're not going to publicly bid the project, you're just gonna go solicit people and say, how much would you do this project for? Then you don't have to have the extra $8,000. So,
So our cap's at 100,000 instead of 50,000
well,
next year.
yes, it's $100,000 of work.
Yeah.
So it's up to you.
Per contract without bid.
Yes.
Yes.
So Mitch, that last meeting, you said you were gonna bid Kim Circle in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Is that something DGR would do or?
That's what we were
That's
talking
what you
about.
discussed, okay. So I just wondered on that.
Have the answer tonight, do we?
No,
No.
you can,
Yeah.
you can put a pin on it because, well, I don't know, because if you're wanting to bid this out in January, by when would you need this additional $3,000 be approved to do the bid documents, bid it out in January?
If we were wanting it to be bid opened in January, it'd be later January, we could. I would think it would probably be pushed back a month if we're not making that decision tonight, so it'd be opening it in middle of February-ish timeframe.
Which might be doing any digging before that anyway.
No, and I think that's well within reason for a lot of contractors to be looking for work in the spring still.
Well, we have had a lot of contract services this year. And there are two, so you gotta kind of. I think your safest deal is the bid. Depends on how much it is. You know, we don't know what the cost is.
And maybe it's you guys considering what type of work needs to be done next year. Like what ditch and excavation work do you need done next year? So maybe sitting down and thinking through that, then you'll have a better idea in comparison to this year, but maybe you don't know. I don't.
So should we put it on hold for the next meeting?
I'd like to.
Yeah, put it on for the December meeting.
And then can you let them know if there's an add-on to negotiate a drainage easement,
Yep.
how much more it would be, or whether you'll do that within this month.
You know, if you guys agree, I mean, otherwise it'd just be an extension bond there.
Right, oh, absolutely.
Is there any other information we'd be looking for in the meantime? We can get that figured out pretty easy, but if there's something else that also makes that decision. Let me know.
I think you guys just figuring out how much work needs to be done outside of this with excavation is helpful, but I don't know that that's something that they need you to drive around. So could family put that on the agenda? Put it on the agenda for next month?
To get bids.
No,
No,
To the
Decide.
DGR, Split Rock Township, Kim Circle Amendment.
Okay,
and then
what you just told, what we have. Okay, yep. Yes, I can.
Thank you.
you're welcome to stay.
Anything else from here? Questions?
We do have.
I do have one question.
Oh, we have a check if you want the check
Okay.
tonight.
I do have a question for you. Say we want to change the specs on the DOT specs on the gravel. If we want to put more aggregate in there, so that we, right now we got so much clay in there, it makes it greasy when it rains. I think we had more aggregate in there. Is that doable or do we have to go by the DOT specs? Can we move them a little bit?
It's a good question, because it might matter what's written in your code.
We don't have a code, so what I would say is, I think the reason you do DOT specs is because then it shows, well, we just adhered to that standard that somebody already tested. But then if you deviate from it, you certainly can. I would have a reason for it. And I would have some conversations with people who know if you add more aggregate out of it. One,
Or do we
If it-
change?
yeah, if it's gonna do any better, so you have a basis for saying, well, I think this is a better idea to increase this with our specs for next year. But you can change it from what the DOT has.
Kevin, you're going to the state meeting in December, right?
And they'll talk about
Is
it.
that,
Yeah, and that's one of the things that when he gets up there, is hoping to talk about. Because it did meet the specs, but it was not very good gravel. Okay, so,
And the DOT spec is usually a range on a lot of those sizes of gravels, and so I don't know what the exact gradation was that you were given, but there's probably a different gradation that would meet the spec that would act differently too.
Yeah. This really acted differently. And it wasn't just our townships. We had some other ones. Okay, that's probably. Thank
So
you.
bills aren't until like the last things, if you want the check tonight, then stay, otherwise they'll go in the mail and.
Meet it tonight, you guys are good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, move on to new business, which we don't have any.
Thanks.
Okay, so elected officials updates. Starting right online. Yeah,
I don't have anything,
other than your free drop off, yeah.
yeah, until the end of December, you can go to the landfill one time by showing, your driver's license. And then they'll mark it, so you shouldn't have to pay for the one landfill deliver.
It's a good deal. It's tires,
Yeah,
there's so many tires, the one a refrigerator, whatever.
They charge you for a few things, don't they?
No, none of this.
Not the tires. Oh, really?
No, I think it's 4 tires and you get one refrigerator. What's over they charge you? There's even a mattress. I don't know if it's the box springs and the bed or just one or the other, but
right.
there's no charge on that. If you pull it up on the website, it should tell you all that. So,
they just charge tires to the township, tires and mattress.
yeah,
Which is dumb, the lowest level of government, but the rest of it, it's free.
okay,
That's all. I have.
Well, you could use your pass.
You should-
yeah. Going to, okay,
I had a gal call, there's a house tore down in Madison. I think it's just east of Hidden Valley. 1901 address, 9100. Anyway, they tore down a house So somebody came and got the blue marker,
Oh,
Did
the
they-
fire?
they took the wrong one. So she wants her other one back. Is that's not
That's
us,
not us.
is that a county issue?
Yeah.
All right, I'll pass that on. It's just an interesting phone call, but I didn't think it was ours. So that's all I got.
I don't have much, I just throw one, culvert, I guess, which we didn't need a culvert. Different location.
Yeah.
They got the rep.
And I got Big Sioux Rec area on Maple. If you go straight west of the entrance into the park there's two blacktop entrances, one in and one out. The one coming out is washed out about 300 yards to the south, to the west on the north side. We had some locates, there's some wires hanging in there but they're dead. I had them 811 and went over and checked it, and they're dead wires, so. We can go ahead and fill it in and get that ditch shaped again and then start mowing it again. So. And they're gonna put the sander on. It's that time of year, guys. Put the sander on the truck this weekend, get that ready to go. So it's all ready. And that's all I got.
The Minnehaha County Township meeting and stuff there, you should be getting cards this week and stuff. It's next week, next Monday. South Dakota Association of Towns is December, I guess 4th and 5th. There. So I got registered Marvin, Richard and myself. And then, I got rooms reserved. It's under Split Rock Township or Kevin Calise, either one, but I did send in for the tax exempt. And so I got all that paperwork done, so the rooms are ready to go. Speed signs, they're moving all their equipment, so I'm watching the weather. I'm planning on moving in this, speed signs before the next snow and we should have room in the shop. So I'll be looking at that here within the next week or two. And then also I filled out the paperwork for federal surplus. And I was wondering if you guys still have your cards. If you have yours, Marvin, Todd, do you have yours, Rich?
I have to look.
Okay, they was wanting to know if we needed new cards and stuff. So if you two have it, I can just call them and say, Richard, unless you find it, let me know.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's, I think, all the notes I had.
Remember two other things. This road's supposed to be open the 25th, but then I heard the 21st. Be one-way traffic in both directions up here. At which time we'll close and open everything else up. Split Rock Heights.
I'd ask that maybe you delay it by a day or two, just so people get established in the route on Arrowhead as opposed to, because once they start coming, if they detour through Quartzsite, it'll start showing up on Google. So if you can just delay a couple of days to get that route established and people thinking about that route as opposed to taking another shortcut. So thank you.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if you take this service road and go into Postma's entrance into his shop, there's a cul-de-sac on the end. Now, I tried to call the engineer today. I just don't like, if you go up there and look, it's got a bumper guardrail on it and it's gonna stop there. And it's just like it comes out to you. I'd like to see it one more length and tip it back a little bit, and so you're not coming right in on it. I mean, I don't like the design on it. I'm trying to get a hold of them to talk to him about it, but I didn't have any luck today. So, and if you guys want to take a drive up there after some time and take a look, you give me your opinion, but that's all I had.
I'm not a elected official, but I have public input. Their comment. I guess I can make one. Just because I went to the Brandon Valley School Board meeting last night, Brandon City Council meeting last Monday. November 21st is the Brandon Food Pantry annual fundraiser. The Brandon Food Pantry provides 5 days of food 4 times a year for individuals in the Brandon Valley School District area, so that includes the township. I'm not on the board, but I have been visiting with Linda Weber, who has served as their director for years and years, and she had talked about how donations are significantly down and the needs are significantly up. So I challenged everybody in attendance at those meetings, and tonight, if you can make a financial donation to the Brandon Food Pantry, they can get so much more out of your money than they can. I mean, thank you for contributing food too, as well. It's very needed. But, you know, they can buy 3 cans of beans for 1 can of bean that you donate. But so if you're willing to donate to them, PO Box 172 or 406 Main Avenue, Brandon, South Dakota. If you want to attend their annual fundraising dinner, $45 a ticket or $360 for a table of 8, which is a week from Friday. So please keep them in mind because they're filling a very valuable need and they can really use your money. She had said, in addition to what they generally raise at their annual dinner fundraiser, to get them through from, you know, all the needs that they've been having and the donations that are lower through the next few months into 2026, they're looking at it like another $12,000 that they're really needing. So tell your neighbors, tell your friends, they could use some help.
What was the address again?
It is PO Box 172 or 406 Main Avenue, Brandon, South Dakota. They could really use people right now.
So for food donation, they still just take that on a certain day, did she say?
I don't know what days they're open for food donations. I'm sure it's on their website, but I'm also sure that the Brandon City Hall, because it's right next door, you could drop it off there too.
Association annual meeting is coming up this month,
Okay,
and perhaps 6 months ago, we donated $1,000 to the beef club store, that I could raise up at the annual meeting.
that'd be great.
They're really hurting for,
They are.
and she told me that if we give her money, same thing, said she could stretch that a lot further than we can if we give her food.
Right. And meat is always a hard one for them, and meat is what people need, so thanks for thinking of them, especially in this season of need.
Okay, now we move on to public comments. We'll go around.
So when the bridges, or the, call it a bridge, I guess, on 267 is complete, what's the low limit to be on?
Now that he's gone,
Yeah,
I know I should have asked.
Yeah.
Here, but
we'll make sure it's posted.
here's why I asked. I think it's 482nd over by West Wise Feedlot, the gravel road, the county just put a new bridge in. And because they're tearing the bridges out over Highway 11, I've been looking for a new route to haul corn. So I drove up that road, and they got a brand new bridge there, and they got load limit on a 30 ton. Which, you know, hauling corn, you're overweight.
Yeah.
And my fear is are they doing something that all of a sudden we'll have a 30 ton load limit on this bridge? I mean, I'd like you to find out if you can, and who's
Yeah.
responsible for load limits. If that's a brand new, it's not a box culvert bridge like this one, it's a board bridge.
I'll call them up and see what the limits are.
My hope is it's an old sign that they just haven't changed.
Is
but-
that a county bridge?
Pardon?
County? Oh, that's a county.
That's a brand new bridge.
Yeah.
Feeds at the split line right there, on 42nd, just north of the church.
I'll call our Travis and see, not Travis, but Trav. And see where he's got it. I hate to say it, I'm not even gonna say it, but I would assume it'd be,
I was assuming it'd be a normal load limit,
that
but
was,
after seeing that bridge, I'm going, wait a minute.
Did you call the county on that one?
No, I did not.
It's maybe,
Tom Brown is one, I called him on a township supervisor over in Brandon, and he said, yeah, that's the load limit on that bridge, Dick. But you're gonna have to.
You gotta be kidding me.
No, that's what Tom told me, so, you know, he said I'm gonna have to route all the way up to Fly's feedlot and then come 4 miles back around just to get to course.
but if it's a bridge, isn't that the county's decision?
I mean, it's a real bridge, it's not a,
Right, that's what I mean. The county is responsible for paying for those bridges, so maybe call the county. Of course, maybe the township has it there so that You know, the tons of roads.
RJ and I got to put up with a 30-ton bridge.
I just second what he just told you. Check
Yeah.
into it, find out.
I'll check into it. I'll give him a call.
We spent $500,000 for nothing.
Yeah.
I'll email him right now.
Okay.
Here, but
Okay. Anybody else?
Just a quick question, who would I call? I think it'd be a city responsibility, but for lane markings at Veterans Parkway and Arrowhead over the winter, because driving through that intersection, especially at night, the lane markings aren't clear as to where is the straightforward lane, where is the turn lane, and I just about got nailed this afternoon going through that intersection because oncoming traffic didn't recognize the proper lane. Who in the city would we call to have that addressed?
We'll have to get hold of the project manager of that project there and,
DNR?
well, they're the main goal person, but they still they have an engineer that's overseeing it.
Okay.
So I'll give Andy Berg a call and find out from
Okay.
the city.
I know it's not a township responsibility.
No,
I thought you might know.
but Andy Berg's the head engineer for City of Sioux Falls.
Okay.
He should be involved. Okay. Anybody else?
This is to address your letter that you sent to me on October 7th. Anybody wants to read it, here's copies of that letter. The reason everything is out in the public is because you guys brought the dirt, that was out in the public, so it's always been addressed. Now, I need to know by December meeting what you guys think. If you're gonna change your stance or not. If not, this goes on to court. That's where it's at. You two, Todd, you and Stefan, if you want to see pictures that I brought into the township, I've got them here. I'll show them to you right quick. When I figured out the township didn't want to listen and didn't care, I quit bringing stuff in. So if you'd like to see what the road looked like, I can show it to you. Because it's been a real, it has not been good. This is 67. This is where I got, 67 is where I got associated with the land. I've showed this picture in here before. Where the tractor is down here, that's about where our property was. And there is no dike that was built up on the land for anything. And the road at that time, all it was tracks through the alfalfa field. That's how far back I know the road. This is from 1972. Our house was built in 1971. And the road sat below the grade of the front yard. That's the road. The road was used as a drainage ditch. There were no culverts on it. There was no need for it because all the water ran down the road and out to the cow patch, which is now a park. So there was good, clean drainage. These are some pictures of the snow. This is before the road went in. This is 2700, the top picture. That's 2700. All they had to do was back straight out of that driveway onto the road. This is 2704. And you can tell how deep the snow was. And this is property about 2705. 6 across the street. All we had to do was back out onto the road. And this shows the road was flat with the driveways. Nobody got hurt. There were no accidents. This one here, this is 2010. This is the year before the road, the year before you guys raised the road. And this is pictures. This is when the road went in. Culvert sits above the grade. It never has had a drop of water go through it. This road sits 4.5 feet in the air. It was 12 feet wide with only about a usable surface of about 8 feet. Nobody could ever pass on it. Shoulders were always soft, and that's why people ended up in the ditch. Within the road first going in, my folks were in here. They came in. The road had just gone in. And we had accidents already. And that's my folks' mailbox that ended up on the ground. It ended up on the ground so many times that my folks might have moved their mailbox up to the neighbor's house to keep it from being full. Here's some more accidents that happened on that road. These pictures were brought in. Matter of fact, when I brought in the pictures of the the garbage truck having problems, going in the ditch, at this time, the road was maybe 13.5, 14 feet wide. When the garbage truck went in, the shoulders were still soft. What was written after the meeting, it didn't say that Susan Lane brought in pictures that showed accidents on George. It says, oh, Susan came in to complain about a little bit of dirt buildup on the road. What a bunch of bullshit. And this here is a picture of the township having problems on the road. They even clipped 2700's evergreen tree. That's what this is about. They took out a big branch off the tree. What I'm saying is this ends now. This road has been nothing but trouble since 2011. You guys want to stay by your stand, go ahead, but this will go to court. You got a month to make a decision. We're done. You go.
You guys got anything?
No, we're just here. We just have been wanting to come to a township meeting and here we are.
Welcome to your.
We are at the end of River Bluff Road. 2908 River Bluff. Just want to be engaged and involved. Yeah.
Okay.
So you got the house with 3 levels?
No, our River Bluff Road den ends at our house on the outside, like we're one branch.
Okay.
I don't know which one of you snow blowed us out multiple times to get all this now, but thank you.
Okay, no other comments? Move on to the motion to pay bills. Bills are law firm, $1,075. Butler Machinery, $998.03. Cressman Sanitation, $714. DJR, $2,216. Midwest Oil, $289. RDO, $16,519 for repairs on the loader. Running supply was $173.44. The blades for the equipment, $2,808 for a grand total of $24,793.28. Do I have a motion to pay bills?
I'll make a motion to pay the bill.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're not going into executive session, so do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I motion to adjourn.
I have a second.
One second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next meeting will be December 9th at 7:30. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.